There's a stretch of road in British Columbia, Canada, called the Highway Through Hell. Its official name is Coquihalla Highway, but when you hear its official name, you'd have no idea what it is. The reason it's called this is because of its landslides, its steep drop-offs, and narrow roads. During the wintertime, it's so dangerous that there is a Canadian TV show called Highway Through Hell. I was driving my 2014 Toyota Corolla on this road with two of my best friends, Mike and Rich. They were sitting in the back, while my girlfriend Leia sat in the passenger seat beside me. It was December 31st at 11 at night. Everyone in the car was asleep. The steady sound of snoring was almost hypnotic, while a heavy snowstorm raged on. The only thing separating us from the deadly elements was a thin piece of glass in a metal box. I could feel my eyes starting to get heavy. Everything around me was so peaceful that my brain was telling me to close my eyes. I was fighting the urge so badly. I had to be hyper alert, and I was coming up to a section of highway that was really dangerous. My eyes slowly closed for a few seconds. When I opened them back up again, a deer was silhouetted in my headlights. I let out a startled cry and pounded down on the brakes, turning the steering wheel towards the cliff and away from the deer. However, the road was slick with snow, and my winter tires didn't grab anything. I could feel the car glide across the snow-covered road, the foot pedal thudding as the anti-lock brakes kicked in. The car smashed into the deer. Instead of heading towards the rock wall, the car was heading towards a cliff. The car hit the rail, and metal scraping against metal screeched in my ears. The impact caused me to hit my head against the driver's side window, knocking me out. I woke to the sound of screaming. My eyes slowly opened and I felt the car tilting. I looked through the windshield and saw a sheer drop in front of me. I looked to my right and saw Leia hanging limply from her seatbelt. Blood covered her face and fell against the broken windshield. I adjusted the rearview mirror to see my friends in the back seat, and I could see Mike stirring. But to my horror, Rich was nowhere to be seen. It was then I realized there was a giant person-sized hole in the windshield. Rich hadn't been wearing his seatbelt. He never wore his seatbelt, no matter how many times we told him. Now he paid the price. Rich, Leia, are you okay? Mike mumbled an incoherent response, but I could hear nothing from Leia. I lifted my right hand to her shoulder and shook a bit. She didn't respond. However, the car did by swaying a bit more as we wobbled over the brink of death. I reached into my right pocket and pulled out my cell phone. I dialed 911 and put the phone to my ear.
911, what's your emergency?
I had a crash on Coquihalla Highway at mile marker 52. Please hurry. Myself and 3 friends are hanging off a cliff. I don't know how long we have.
Alright sir, just hang in there. We'll get help out to you as soon as possible.
After that, the operator and I talked to each other, and I gave him as much information I could. Every so often, I could hear a moan coming from the back seat. 10, 20, 30 minutes passed before I heard the sounds of sirens coming. The swaying of the car seemed to be getting worse now. We were running out of time. Another 5 minutes and I heard a voice coming from behind me. This car's about to go over. We can't wait for a tow truck. Try to get the driver out first, I'll get the girl. If we take out the male in the back seat first, there'll be too much weight in the front and the car will plummet. I wasn't able to make out much of the conversation. My driver's side window was smashed, so the cop reached through the window. The other cop realized that he had no way of getting the door open without compromising the car's balance. So the cop went over to my side of the car. The first cop took out a knife and cut the seatbelt. As soon as the seatbelt was loose, both of them grabbed my shoulder and yanked me out of the car. Just as they did, the sudden imbalance of the car made it go past its tipping point, and the car went over. As it did, I could hear the screams of my best friend and girlfriend echo through the air. I screamed out in terror and pain myself before blacking out. The next time I regained consciousness was inside a hospital bed. My mom sitting beside me. It took me months to recover from my injuries. My therapist recommended me to write down what happened that night, to help with my grieving process. Every night, I wake up from the same nightmare screaming. I always see Leia, Rich, and Mike standing at the foot of my bed, their mouths in a scream, their faces with a look of sheer terror. Right before I wake up, Leia would always say, "Why did you leave us? Why did you kill us?"